Hello and welcome to the World Championship Series European Premier League season number 3. We are here for the final day of the round of 32. We've already had 14 players advance on to the round of 16.
That's right, 14 players have made it into the round of 16. We are one day away from completing the full 16 players, which will be playing out live next weekend. And let's just get straight to it, Kalaris. If you guys want to come, then you know where to go. Because it's very simple, just like last time. It's WCSEurope.eventbrite.com. You guys, get over here. Come enjoy some awesome round of 16 games. It's going to be a great time.
It certainly is. We've had a lot of good times in the studio over the past 2 seasons, and I'm sure you want to be a part of the 3rd one as well. It's the final season of the year, so why not come on down? As said, we've already had some great players advancing through to the round of 16. Players like MMA and Duck doing very, very well for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, overall, so far, the 14 players that we have, we've got 6 Protoss, 4 Terran, and 4 Zerg. That's pretty well balanced.
Yeah.
Today could change things, of course, but before we look at today's group, I mean, we already have had, as you just mentioned, a fantastic set of players make it to the top 14. We've got the reigning champ who's coming next week to try to defend his title. We've got the on-form MMA, who made his way through yesterday. We've got 4GD, who's playing some of the best StarCraft that we've seen from him in a very long time, as well as a bunch of hopefuls that are looking to shine next week, and they have the chance to do so. They'll be coming to the studios to play with the best of them.
And now, here today, we decide the final 2 advancing on. So it is going to be Group H, as we have MC, Stardust, Cass, and FireCake in this final group. And oh boy, what a group. I gotta say, let's start things off with the boss toss himself, Mr. MC.
That's right, MC comes to play. He's in the Premier League, he represented Europe, he went to the season finals last time, didn't have the best of times in the season finals, but whatever the case, currently, as you can see, he's the highest ranked player in today's group, coming in at rank number 17, so shy of the top 16. And with a good performance here today, I'm thinking we're expecting, a round of 16 finish, at least from MC, to move forward and hopefully challenge for the title of this entire tournament. I'd expect nothing less than a first place from MC today.
He looked good last season, and I'm also expecting no less from him. But then there is a challenge. There is a big challenge in the form of our second player here, who is My Insanity Stardust.
That's right, Stardust, a player for a lot that just came out of nowhere and went, boom, what's up, DreamHack, and won it. DreamHack Summer 2013, not even that long ago. Of course, he was a former Brood War professional player. He moved into StarCraft 2 a long, long time ago, spent a lot of his time in America, but now he's in Europe. He's playing for My Insanity. He's doing the best of his potential. Like he's doing so well in tournaments, so consistent at DreamHack, and finally, slowly but surely, has made his way into Premier League from Challenger and is here to try to advance to the live show next week.
And then we have Cass, a player here from the European scene. He's been a consistent Terran for a long time, but can he put that consistency to practice in a group so strong?
Yeah, I mean, Cass, let's just say he hasn't been performing as well as he always has been. He's come from Challenger League, a place where he shouldn't have to come. He shouldn't, in all honesty, be ranked number 94. That's rather low. But today is his chance to really just put everything behind him and really prove that he still is the destroyer of worlds, a nickname given to him a long time ago through just playing so well, so strong, so consistent. Today's going to be a difficult group for him, but maybe there's that chance where he can redeem himself and push him back to where he truly, truly belongs.
And then we have our final player, a bit of a wild card. A lot of people don't really know too much about this guy. He's the French McLovin. He is FireCake.
FireCake, of course, coming from France. Is he the new Stefano?
Ooh.
Is he the new Stefano? I don't think so.
No.
But maybe. Because, of course, this is the World Championship Series, the Europe Premier League, full of surprises this season so far. We've seen players make their way through that nobody expected. Can FireCake be that guy? He played in the World Championship Series in 2012, finishing only 8th. In his national qualifier, in the France qualifier. Obviously not the highest of results, considering France does not have a super large set of StarCraft 2 professionals, but he's in Premier League. Finally, he played in the Premier League qualifiers. He played in Challenger qualifiers. Was in Challenger for Season 1 and Season 2. But it was in Season 2 where he put the results together to make him into Season 3 Premier League.
Yeah, certainly not too bad. Now he has a big stage to prove himself on, and it's going to be a bit difficult. But as you can see, we have our bracket for today with the matches as well.
Yeah, very simple. If you don't know it already, let me hold your hand and cross the road together. Because we have Stardust versus Cass as the bottom game there. Our first game will be MC versus FireCake. After these two games, complete, we'll have the winners against each other in the top half of the bracket. The winner of the winners match will go on in first place to advance to the round of 16. So then let's just reverse it a little bit now and think about the losers of the first two initial games. They'll drop down to the lower bracket. They'll have to play each other to face off against the loser of the winners match right above it. So then once we complete the final match, which will be... I don't know. I think that's actually going to be a really interesting point, and we'll go into that very shortly after. Once we complete the final match, that will be the second place finisher of today's group, moving on to the round of 16. 2 slots only left. The entire round of 32.
That's it. That is it. And don't forget, guys, the winner of that final match, that's an important one because we actually do have our brand new sponsor along with us for the ride here in WCS Europe in the form of Roccat. And so a big thank you to those guys. And if you go over to Twitter and predict the second place finisher of this group, along with the hashtag Roccat as well as the hashtag WCS, you can be in with a chance of winning yourself a Kone Pure Optical Mouse as displayed by the lovely Apollo here.
That's right, to my right. This, as mentioned before, is going to be an interesting final match because, for me, this is actually one of the most difficult ones to predict. Who's going to finish in second place? I'm not exactly sure who's going to finish in second. I have an inkling to who'd finish in first, but in second, I think it's really up for grabs, which will make the competition just that little bit harder for you guys. And maybe, you won't even get it at all. There has to be someone that gets it.
There certainly does.
Eventually, there has to be.
There has to be at least one of you.
But it is more of a difficult one this time, so good luck, competitors.
All right, but now, guys, that brings us on to the first match of the night, as we have MC, the boss toss himself, going to be going up against FireCake. And oh boy, is there a difference in terms of what these guys have accomplished. You have a player like MC, who has gained himself $389,000 worth of prize money, and then you have a guy like FireCake, who has earned 550.
Yeah, it's obviously a major difference here, and that's kind of weighing into the expectations of which way this is going to conclude, because is MC going to lose to FireCake? MC's in Europe. He's actually in Cologne, believe it or not, right now, not too far away from the studios. He's come here to the SK Gaming House and is playing there currently for these games. So there is no threat for him to have to deal with the latency issue. But it's a big difference when it comes to the two different players. I spoke to MC earlier today, and I said, hey, do you know much about FireCake? He's obviously not that well known. How much do you know? And he said, well, and quote unquote here, exactly, he roach man. He roach man.
Wow.
That's what MC said. So he's expecting a lot of roaches to come out from FireCake here today. So we may see some immortals from MC.
That certainly may end up happening. That's interesting though. I'm surprised he's just going straight for he roach man. But this is important for MC. Obviously, if he were to, by some weird chance, end up losing this first match and not actually moving through the group stages, he's a guy, MC is the guy that you expect to be at BlizzCon, right? You expect him to be in one of those positions. He's been such a staple of StarCraft 2 throughout the entirety of its life. So this is important for MC to stamp his dominance here in this first matchup, and I think he could do it. I don't think FireCake's going to have much of a chance if MC just employs the bulldozer that he normally does to run people over. All right, so let's jump into the first game of the night, as we have, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, our Red Protoss representing SK as well as Korea. He is MC. And up to the top left, our Blue Zerg representing Vega Squadron as well as France. We have FireCake.
If FireCake was to be able to beat MC in this first game, then I think MC's chances of even moving out this group are really in trouble.
Yes.
Really in trouble, because Stardust in a PvP, anything is possible in a PvP to a certain extent, where if Stardust wants to, can turn it into a bit of a 50-50 coin flip scenario, where he could, if he was to go up against Stardust, be in a bunch of trouble. Likewise, if Cass was to bring out a performance that a lot of people are hoping to see today, again, MC could be in trouble. So for MC's entire World Championship Series career, just think about it from the get-go. He was in Korea, he was playing WCS Korea, he decided to make the switch, and he had to wait an entire season to be able to make it to Season 2 Premier League. He then had a big amount of pressure building because he had to perform in Season 2 to even get close to having points on the board because he skipped Season 1. And now coming into Season 3, he's not top 16 yet. If he messes this up in this series, because this is where it would happen, this is where the downfall would happen, then he may, as you said, not go to BlizzCon where so many fans, himself, his team, are expecting him to be there.
And the odd thing is about this group composition and how the first matches have worked out is that, you know, not a lot of people are familiar with FireCake. And in my opinion, I strongly believe that going up against Protoss opponents is FireCake's best opportunity to advance against this. Yes, they're very strong Protoss opponents, and that's hard in itself, but the entire run that we've seen from FireCake through to this position he's got himself in Premier has been through Protoss opponents, namely Mana.
Yeah, I actually remember watching those games in Challenger League. He won 4-1 overall, if I remember correctly. Played him twice. I think he won the first one 2-1 and then won the second one 2-0.
Yeah, he did.
Convincing play from him. To be able to beat up on Mana, a former Premier League player. And I think another player he beat too on the way into, maybe it was one of the qualifiers actually. He beat Showtime as well, another Premier League player. So, you know, FireCake's had his fair share of Premier League Protoss players in his way into the Premier League today. And let's see if he can pick up the biggest of them all. Which is, of course, SKMC.
Yeah, the boss toss, he is a big one, that's for sure. Dealing with the boss toss, the most winningest player of all time in StarCraft 2, that's a tall order. But again, I strongly believe that this is FireCake's best chance of dealing with this. Zerg versus Terran is not as impressive, in my opinion, as is Zerg versus Protoss. So let's see if he can step up to the plate in this first series and really bring it to MC.
Well, as you can see, both builds are relatively standard. From MC, it was just a Forge first, which he's always been a big fan of, just to make sure he is safe. And the difference between Nexus and Forge first is not that big, and he's just decided to go for his Forge first. From this position on, he will obviously throw the Cybercore to complete the wall off. Once the wall off is complete here, and a Zealot will be in the middle of them, he'll start to choose his tech choice. I'm expecting from MC Stargate. I don't think he would go down Robotics Facility, because those are the two big ones we're expected to see from him. If he goes down Robotics Facility, he's really filtering his options, and if it was to be scouted by FireCake, you know, that could be very troublesome. Where on the other hand, Stargate, a lot of different angles, and if it was scouted, it doesn't mean that it's just instantly counted.
You're right, a lot of different angles. And, you know, for a player like MC, he has all the builds in his book. He has them down to the point, very, very crisp, very clean. MC has built his entire career on being able to do it just like that. So from MC, we'll see what he wants to go for. I personally would love to see some Stargate builds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to be doing here, unless, you know, he wants to change things up to the norm. He has chrono boosted or spent a chrono boost into the Stalker here, so he really wants to push the Overlord away so he can throw down his tech choice to hide it away from FireCake, just to prevent some easy scouting. Where on the other hand of things, I mean, FireCake's throwing down his gases at a perfect time. He's just playing a very, very standard style to how we used to be seeing Zerg against a Forge and Nexus Expand.
He's just chilling out back at home, and MC does push away that Overlord just a little bit, but it's left alive.
MC's going to be taking a fast third in this game. He's moved out of probe, he's got +1 attack on the way, so he's not going to throw down the Stargate immediately here, and he's going to throw down a very, very fast third. This is not bad. It's actually fine to do so. It's another option that you can go down as a Protoss player. On a map like this, you break the rocks in between. It's rather easy to actually defend it, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be scouted very fast on FireCake. He saw units moving down there, and he's even moving an Overlord into position.
Yeah, and the Overlord on the right-hand side is also coming into the main, whilst this one was trying to go into the main. But aside from that, he has now spotted this. But again, how well can a Zerg really punish this on this map? I mean, even if MC is putting on this little aggression himself, really keeping his opponent on the back foot.
Well, there's about 20 Zerglings about to come out, so they'll deal with this force rather easy, to be honest. He may try to pressure behind it, but I don't think that's going to be the best of choices. We'll see what he makes. Yeah, 12 drones. I didn't think he'd continue to build units here.
Well, that means he's going to be up at around 60 or so drones, which is going to fuel a very, very nice economy. But again, because of the wall off that MC has already placed at his third base, it's going to be very difficult to ever break that down. Did he get the roach for it? Well, I mean,
yeah, he did. Yeah.
Going for any aggression though at this point would it would be a bit out of the norm in regards to FireCake.
It's very difficult. You can create a wall off here. The rocks are going to be broken down kind of fast, and you don't. It's not worth it. It's a risk, because if you do build units there, you have to guarantee yourself that you get damage done. Where in this regard, he's saying it's okay. I can play a different style. I don't need to be aggressive. I can throw down double evolution chambers and get my upgrades coming down twice at the same time, because MC cannot be aggressive. But MC, with the Twilight Council down at a good time to complete, as 1+1 completes, he can go to +2 really, really fast here. He also has the option to research Blink, and probably, but I mean, it's not definitely, but MC is a player that is known for his aggression and known for his Blink Stalker play. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of minutes here, once his minerals start to stack up, he throws down a bunch of gateways and goes along the lines of maybe some movement out with +2 and Blink.
And they're going down right now, Apollo, so he's going to throw those down, and you know, he throws them down just where the Overseer has come in and scouted out. So it's a perfect opportunity for him to hide tech there, or just hide anything there, as it's very unlikely that FireCake is going to scout out that location again for at least a couple of minutes.
Well, MC's thrown down the robotics facility now as well. Of course, he'll need to get observers out. He probably may go towards Immortals as well, and maybe just go up to Colossus too, depending on what he scouts from his opponent, because that's one of the key factors in making your decisions as a Protoss player. You need to know what the hell you're playing against, because MC has not scouted all game long. He's going to go across to the third base. See, the gases have been taken. That's normal, because he's taken a fast third. He's obviously expecting his opponent to go for a faster economy too. He's seen the Hydra Dent and double evolution chamber and a hive.
Ooh.
So by the looks of it, I wouldn't even be saying this was Zergling heavy upgrade style. You'd be looking at it and be like, well, this looks like maybe Hydra to Vipers. The heavy Zergling count in the middle is maybe pushing MC towards Colossus, because obviously it's going to help out a lot against that.
Yeah.
But indeed, it's Swarm Host and Hydra with Zergling upgrades.
I'm kind of surprised by the Swarm Host choice here. What do you make of it?
Well, the Swarm Host is going to be very good against any kind of 3-base gateway hit, which is MC's very known for, because it's very difficult to break Swarm Host when you only have gateway units. You need Storm, we need Colossus. So I think building a couple of them is fine, and Hydralisk along the same lines. But FireCake, with his build and with his setup and economy, by the way, he's playing very, very well, seems to be aiming towards Ultralisks here. So I think the Hydras and the Swarm Hosts with the Zerglings are to help out against any timing MC tries to go for. Whereas I'm pretty sure we'll just see the Ultras Cavern come down quite fast.
And that Hallucinated Phoenix did see those Locusts moving out, so he should know that Swarm Hosts are about in case he would want to push out. MC might play a little bit more focused on trying to get up a fourth base, but actually that's being blocked as well here by FireCake, so really good play by FireCake thus far, and he's getting Adrenal Glands so fast in this game. I'm really quite impressed by his play so far.
So right now, if we are able to see FireCake get up to these Ultralisks and actually have a couple of them out with the upgrades that we have coming, he beats MC's army. Kind of hard, to be honest. With good upgrades, and Ultras are going to beat down gateway units in a couple of Colossus here. But MC, just like Wings of Liberty and his Protoss versus Zerg here, does have an opportunity to do damage, but that's what the Swarm Host and Hydra is for. It's not to concentrate his whole army on, but just to buy himself time. Even the Spire coming in, I mean, sometimes you may just look at this and be like, maybe Mutalisk afterwards, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to go for Broodlords as well. I mean, he's got the upgrades for them. A couple of them behind the Ultralisks makes a very strong Zerg army. Yeah,
it's a really good point. We've actually seen it once or twice in WCS Europe thus far, but aside from that, and but the few times we have seen it, it's been so hard to actually break. And a little bit of lag there for a second, but MC he spots his opponent's composition at the moment, but he has to prepare for what's actually going to happen, because those Ultralisks are on the way, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen the upgrades for the Zergling, so I'm pretty sure he started to realize what kind of composition he would be eventually going up against. You don't really go Hydralisk heavy if you don't have any upgrades for them. So I'm quite sure that as the third base will be taken here for MC, we may just see a second robotics facility come down to maybe help out with the Immortals. But overall, apart from the few Zerglings and stuff in the middle of the map, he hasn't 100% seen the Ultralisks. And I think that may be a bit of a problem for him, because eventually when you get Immortals, yeah, you're okay in good position, but until then...
It's tough. It really is. And again, this is kind of why I said at the beginning, this is FireCake's best chance to advance from this group going up against Protoss. Although he doesn't want to sacrifice a lot of those Zerglings. We'll have to run back for now. All he needs to do is sit back with those Ultras. And again, no Immortals in the army, so it's going to get shredded up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't even think he can take a proper fight here, MC. He may have to rely on recall. It's a very strong army here that FireCake has. And there's the second robotics filter starting immediately upon seeing the Ultras for sure.
Oh, Zergling's going to try and wrap around, but the Ultralisks aren't with this army at that particular moment in time, so they're really not going to have too much to tank for these Ultralisks. They have to fall back. That was a little bit over-eager there by FireCake.
Yeah, Zerglings did absolutely nothing there. There's no creep this far side of the map. MC's done a good job of stopping that in the halfway line. Time warps as well. Really slowing things down.
Jeez, the resources lost is pretty brutal there for FireCake, and all of that was pretty much in Zerglings. He blinks forwards here, trying to catch some of these Ultralisks. The Ultralisks realize that they can't actually retreat out, and are just going to turn for the fight, but this is not as cost-effective as these Ultralisks want it to be any day of the week.
Yeah, these Ultras are getting picked off really fast, and even though he's got a lot of units here, he's taken a lot. When it comes to units lost tab, he's lost a lot of Ultras there. And with double Immortal production beginning, and Archon's going to be thrown into the mix now, MC is starting to build the army. And with a fourth base behind this, he's starting to build the army to deal with this easily.
Yeah. Just imagine if all of those Zerglings in the first engagement had been with those Ultralisks just there. Maybe the wraparound, maybe the ceiling in there, and that would have been really, really painful for MC. But now he's going to have to rely on the reinforcing Zerglings. Admittedly, there's quite a lot, but there's not that many Ultralisks. There's only 3. So he's still got to kind of be careful with this.
Yeah, there's a lot more coming across the map now, but I think MC should be fine here, right? I mean, he's got so many units.
Oh, that's a really nice position he's found himself in as well. With those reinforcing cannons to help out with the DPS. Yes, a lot of the Zealots do end up dying, but the Ultralisks are going to go down. And that's the big meat shield of FireCake completely gone.
And with 2 Immortals being made per time, plus 3 attack beam research, MC is saying, well, this game is going my way at the moment. And all the MC, I think, at this point, will probably be thinking, all right, I'm down in supply, I'm 136, but I am building the best and the biggest and baddest army that I can have against Ultralisks. So MC will wait until he gets closer and closer to being towards 200 supply, with a good amount of Archons, good amount of Zealots, and a good amount of Immortals in the mix, and then he'll move out, especially because +3 is on the way. But before that is ready, he does have to Warp Prism to the north to try to slow his opponent down. I feel in this position, FireCake needs to switch away from Ultralisks, and I think he's starting to do so.
Yeah, he's already got Viper on the way. He's getting those Corruptors out as well. Did he ever morph in a Great Aspire? No, he did not.
No.
So the option for Broodlords is not there just yet. It would take him a little bit more time, but he's trying to build static defense in the middle of the map as well. So maybe kind of just drawing out this game, but I feel that if he keeps drawing it out, MC is only going to gather a lot of strength behind this army.
Yeah, I mean, there's 8 Swarm Hosts now, and they're going to be much better against the heavy Immortal style. But of course, with Storm there, I still think that MC is going to have a very strong army once he approaches his 200 supply mark, which is getting closer and closer towards. At least the Warp Prism is going to get picked off. That's kind of good for FireCake, or at least not picked off, but prevented from warping in the units towards these back bases.
Oop, does he have a grab? No, he does not on that Viper, so can't even go for that, sadly, to actually deal with this Warp Prism. But as you rightly pointed out, at least it's not too much of a threat right now. And look at this. Actually, we have the double Stargates now in production for MC. So he's anticipating his opponent's moves at the beginning. I mean, he saw the Corruptors, right? So what else can really be happening other than to deal with that?
He'll switch over to Void Rays. He's got DTs as well that will come out and harass, but he's got the army he wants now to fight any amount of Ultralisks. So MC's going to move across. Remember, there is a recall if anything was to go wrong here. But future from this, he realizes his opponent will move away from Ultralisks because they're just not good enough, and we can see that here in this fight. They really get picked off fast, and I absolutely believe, as you said, that we'll probably be seeing Void Rays soon as well.
Yeah, good storms, good damage, and good movement back there as the MC forces his opponent away from that area. He couldn't stay there for long, could FireCake. That being said, FireCake did reinforce this base down to the bottom left pretty heavily with Spine Crawlers, so it's going to be a bit harder for MC to try and exploit that. But still, his army is just so good right now. It's,
Yeah, it's very, very good. He's adding a couple more Colossus because he's noticed the Swarm Host now, so he's just kind of dealing a little bit better with the Swarm Host, the Locust, with the extra splash damage he has available.
A good game by MC thus far. He's actually really bringing the hurt to FireCake. FireCake's initial poise and posture was awesome, but he's losing Ultra after Ultra. And the engagements just have not been favorable for him. Is there any way he can bring himself back into this tight spot he's found himself in?
It's a difficult one. He does have 2,000 resources in the max, so there are tech switches that might work. With +2 attack coming, we could see the inevitable Mutalisk switch from him.
We could. That's a lot of gas he has banked up, and it's certainly done a lot in the past.
I think it ideally would be higher, like 30 more Mutalisks, not 20. 20's not enough.
And having to spend extra gas here on the Ultralisks that are only just going to get completely obliterated by these Immortals. That's going to be hard for FireCake to actually bust as, well, even Fleet Beacon goes down. MC is just... He's just thinking extra steps ahead and pressuring this base as well. This could be scary for FireCake.
Yeah, I think one part of MC right now would be really nice. I was about to say, send Zealots to the north now he's broke the rocks. And also probably a Warp Prism down south. A Warp Prism to this bottom base while he's keeping FireCake occupied at the north would be very smart. I guess, I mean, he could just walk down there with his entire army as well, considering all the Zealots are at the north. But picking off that bottom base, it must be a priority for MC.
Still sees a lot of Ultras that he's going up against, so he knows that these Immortals are always going to be very, very cost-effective once these engagements come. The Swarm Hosts are just trying to hold this back, and he does kill off a lot of the static defense there, but again, it's the Warp Prism that's really being annoying for him. He's cleaning up Zealots, but at the same time, they are holding him back.
Yeah, he's just warping in Zealot and DTs to be able to pick off these bases. There's only a Spore Crawl up there for the detection, so that once that's down, the DTs are going to go crazy. And then behind all this, MC has his main army going to the south here to exploit this bottom base. Swarm Hosts are trying to defend it, but I don't think there's enough here. There's 2 observers. The Swarm Hosts could actually be picked off, to be honest.
Yeah, they could. The Immortals and Nat Colossi actually just stomp on forwards and kill off 1 or 2 of those Swarm Hosts very, very quickly, along with the Locusts that just don't even get there. Time Warp against Locusts is making sure that they don't reach the army at all.
And look at this. It looks like FireCake's going to come in with the Ultras to try to defend this army, but he may be able to do well here.
Oh, there's the pull, there's the wraparound with the Zerglings as well. 2 more great pulls there on the Colossi. And this army for MC is waning. He will have to pull back, but he's killed a base.
Yeah, he's killed a base there, but he's going to pick off all these Ultras if they keep kiting in. There's no creep. The Immortals can kite backwards. As long as they target fire each single one of the Ultras down, he should be able to pick off every single one.
A very, very good kind of attempt at a cleanup there for FireCake, but in the end, it was just not enough. The 21 Mutalisks now coming out for FireCake, but as you said before, I mean, these Mutalisks have been spotted.
Yeah.
It's really kind of a little bit higher of a number that would have been the big, threat to MC. I think he might be able to deal with this if he's clever enough.
I mean, one thing that's working well for FireCake is that MC is still on 4 bases. If it was 5, it would be difficult. MC's now trying to get Phoenixes and Phoenix range with +1 out to defend against this. A lot of Mutalisks. He does have quite a few Storms on his 4th base, but not on his 3rd, and this is an important base right now for MC.
And all the while, he actually got +2 weapons on these Mutalisks, so they're going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
7 more on the way. He doesn't have that many Stalkers, only 11 here to try and deter them whilst he builds his Phoenix count. Actually, this could go really badly for MC if he's not absolutely pristine about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's 38 Mutalisks.
Uh-oh.
That's a lot of Mutalisks. That's kind of the number you want, not like 20 or something, but 38? And both Stargate, or one of the Stargates has been picked off here.
If he only could find his way somehow to the Fleet Beacon, but MC wisely built it in the very, very corner of his base, so he can get this Anion Pulse Crystals done in time.
Well, so far, so good here for FireCake, who's got 3 300 Zerglings as well. The Immortals are exposed out in the middle. They're going to get picked off real fast. And wow, FireCake is really bringing a good game here to fight against MC.
Yeah, the transitions have been very nice indeed. And once again, going for the engagements with these Stalkers. He knows that his opponent's anti-air is very low. Nice Storm, though, will clip a lot of those Mutas.
And MC managed to get Zealots just walked across the map towards this back base of FireCake, which is going to help out quite a lot. I mean, did the... is it gone? No, the Fleet Beacon is alive, so
yes,
he has the range. Okay, so he has the range now for his Phoenixes. Archons and Storms available. MC's starting to cope with the Mutalisks.
+1 weapons for air will help a little bit, but he doesn't really even have that many Phoenix. So this is really hard for him because the Mutalisks are always just going to come and dive in, do a little bit of damage, and then retreat right back on out, heal up, and just dive back on in. It's... how does MC deal with this now? He's trying to with Storms, but I don't think, unless he lands some great Storms. Oh, those are 2 very good ones. But he's Storms everywhere.
Oh, that's a lot of Storms, but he picks off quite a lot. Remember, there was 38. There's only 24 now. So MC has cut the number down by quite a lot, but the ones that are left will regenerate here. And that leaves MC with 15 Stalkers, 2 Archons, and 3 High Templar. That's not a lot of units in this position.
And neither player really has that much income as well. Yeah. So a lot more High Templars on the way. MC is basically banking on the fact that he's just going to absolutely litter the field with Storms once these Mutalisks enter the fray. And it's going to be hit or miss whether he can kill them, depending on how quickly FireCake actually reacts.
I still think MC, with the Storms he has and Archons, can probably win in a straight-up fight. I mean, these Stalkers have +3 attack, so do the Archons. There's a Phoenix there as well.
A lot of damage, you're right. And we'll take out one of the Stalkers, but at the cost of 1 or 2 Mutas there. So not the most effective of trades just there for FireCake.
Yeah, and there's a couple of Archons down here too, so that would be a trap if he was to go towards that base. And MC's starting to, you know, equalize up. He's doing okay, and I think if he keeps making like Storm and, well, not more Storm, but High Templars and Stalkers in the mix, he'll probably just go for an attack soon. A DT's been warped in, that must be towards the bottom left base.
Yeah, absolutely must
be.
be.
If he can pick off that Spore Crawler and then get to do some damage, he knows there's a Spore Crawler there with that Phoenix that just scouted it out, so...
And the Mutalist is going to come in again for another engagement, but a nice blink, nice defense just in general from MC, actually able to hold these backs on either side of the map, which can be a big problem sometimes on a map like Akalon Waste. That is, you know, your 4th and 3rd are very far away from one another. And he's even throwing down some photon cannons, so MC's defenses are holding up.
Yeah, he's going to look to move out soon. The DT's in the bottom left, by the way. It has got to the mirror line, which is really, really nice here for MC. He's kicked off 6 drones.
That Spore Crawler is still alive, though, so can kill it, as it will end up dying off that poor little Dark Templar. But again, in terms of the income, MC's vastly superior right now. He has money coming in. Well, there's very little until FireCake now repopulates this 4th.
All right, MC's getting everything together now. He's probably just going to sit a couple of High Templar on that back base. On where the 4 cannons are, and just try to defend that with a couple of units. Like more cannons and 2 High Templar just go up to him. So MC saying, all right, I'm going to base trade. I'll defend my top base, but I'm going to pick off every unit you have. So if we see FireCake, and he already loses 1 Mutalisk, if he tries to go for the base trade, MC will try to hold his base, and I'm quite sure he will do, actually. There's a lot of units there. There are a lot of Storms, like 3 Storms, maybe a 4th one eventually, and a couple of Stalkers, a lot of cannons.
There's a lot of Zerglings heading over to that 4th base as well. Maybe if they can kill some cannons, that would be a bit more...
If he can warp, he might have to warp in some Zealots here to help deal with that.
I think so as well. Although
can't lose the High Templar.
Oh, he lands a really nice Storm on a lot of those Zerglings, though. But at the same time, the 4th base has gone down here for FireCake. FireCake is making a very, very good meal out of this. As he goes in, kills off cannon after cannon, and he's going to continue this a little bit. But MC's coming back.
Yeah, well, MC has picked off the last mining base, right?
Yeah.
And if he can come back and take a fight against the Mulist, which he's hoping to do, he picks off another one of them as well. The count's at 22 now.
Ooh, and they're in a bit of an odd position here, because they could get trapped into this corner if they're not careful about things.
Look at MC's army movement. Look where it's going.
Yeah.
It's going to the south side.
He knows that he can trap his opponent in if he's just just very, very careful about his movements. But Mutas, they're going to find a way out, I think.
Well, MC's waiting.
On the left-hand side.
The funny thing is, FireCake's like in the middle. He's like, oh, I'll just kill everything here if you're going to sit either side, if you are sitting either side. Oh, he's going to leave now. Can MC's trap work?
Oh, can the trap
FireCake
work?
is not paying attention. Oh, beautiful, beautiful trap by MC. And this is just like, all right, get over the other side of the map and go win the game. That was such a trap before they all regenerate. Go, 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 go. Nice move from MC.
Really, really well done, and it was orchestrated very, very beautifully. As you know, those storms landing just at the perfect time. And sometimes it can be annoying actually storming air units based on the positioning. But another hatchery dies off. FireCake trying to transition onto Broodlords. He has 1 Broodlord morphed in, 1 already out on the field, but it's not going to be enough with this, again, the bulldozer of MC.
Yeah, good game from both players so far. I mean, it looks like it's about to end here with MC pushing forward with a force that I don't think is going to be stopped. Too many Archons, Storm, and Stalkers here. Broodlords are going to try and do something from the high ground here, which is, of course, a little bit annoying from MC. How many units are there? Let's have a look at FireCake's army. It's 50 Mulis and 1 Broodlord.
Not much.
3 more about to join in as well. But from this position, MC is, you know, in a driving seat position.
Yeah.
He's going to take a 5th base if his opponent's going to camp up the main ramp, because of course there's no mining base. It's just that one that's dried out almost for FireCake.
Yeah,
but this is a fantastic game from both players. I mean, I didn't expect this good of a level from FireCake, and of course MC is equal to the task.
Let's be honest, unless you're a real insider, I think a lot of people didn't expect this from FireCake, right? So this is a very, very impressive play from him at the moment. And I'm very curious to see how it's going to carry on into the next games, because you know, MC is in the driving seat right now. Unless these Broodlords are able to perform miracles, it's gonna be hard to deal with that.
And they're out in the open now as well.
Yeah.
There's High Templar that can actually feed back every single Viper and Queen.
Uh-oh.
If they don't get picked off already, that is.
Yeah, it looks like those High Templar are being left alone to die, but they get a few Storms in return. They're doing a lot of damage to those Mutalisks as well. Blinks forward, kills off 1 Broodlord, how much more is going to happen. Nice blinding clouds, though, to deny those Stalkers from the engagement.
Yeah, Tempest being made here by MC to try and deal with the Broodlords. Great blinding clouds here, and a lot of damage being done to these Stalkers.
Yeah, the Broodlords are actually doing really, really well for themselves. Broodlings continuing to nibble.
Quite a few of those Archons as well. And MC never got a mining base up again. He's still got a little bit of minerals left.
And you know, the Broodlords are always a nice transition at this point because of, you know, the way the upgrades work. He has great upgrades on the air damage, great upgrades on the melee damage as well. So they actually kill off those Stalkers and Archons very quickly.
They do indeed. MC has an observer, though, that does see where all the units are.
Yeah, he's keeping an eye on it. But he's losing quite a lot of his army. It's going to be up to Tempest.
FireCake is playing strong here. He's not giving up at all. Blinding Cloud comes down again. And with these Broodlords, 6 Broodlords, there are some... oh, look at this. The Tempest in the middle of the map. He's got to be so careful not to just let that get picked off by the Mutalisks.
Yeah, exactly. If the Mutalisks just knew about that positioning, then that would go down.
Where's the Tempest going?
It's going to die. It's going to die.
Oh,
if he's
okay.
not
He picked it up. He picked it up. But
the Mutas are chasing. He could just grab it.
Oh, Stalkers are they gonna blink back to defend it?
Oh, seems so. And will end up saving that. He absolutely needs to keep these Tempests alive. He has a lot of money in the bank, though, but not that much gas. That's really going to hurt MC since he was never actually able to get that 5th base up and running.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try and focus on that 5th base.
He has
but
to,
FireCake
right?
is mining again here. The Greatest Spire still lives. So more can be made. MC's going to take a new base now. But on the other side of this, FireCake's pushing through the middle. And again, I'll say it again. Both players have played a really good game here.
Yeah.
FireCake moving forward 6 Broodlords. How many Mutalisks got left? Like 10?
Yep.
Against 11 Stalkers, 3 Tempests, and a couple of Storms.
If he gets the Broodlords in an advantageous position and does just small incremental damage to these Stalkers, this could go in FireCake's favor. If he's able to kill off just a few of those Stalkers, because there won't be enough to deal with Mutalisks if the Storms don't land. Ooh, hello.
1 Viper gone.
That was pretty quick. 1 Broodlord
That means no
gone as
Vipers
well.
left.
Oh, he actually just has to go for the engagement here. A nice storm on those Mutalisks as well. Pushes those away, but the Queen's even coming into the fray. They get completely feedbacked and die off very, very fast.
Good fight by MC.
Yeah, very good fight. Really kind of... really well controlled, I've got to say, in terms of the positioning and the...
He's dancing his Stalkers. Good old MC. Typical MC, dancing his Stalkers. And he continues to dance his Stalkers as he closes up on game number 1. He feels it now as well. Got a little bit scary for him in there towards the end, didn't it? I think he felt he was going to win the game as he moved into the main base, but upon realizing how many Broodlords there actually were there...
There you go. GG, guys. What a game to start things off here today. Yeah. I was... again, I have to come back to the fact that I did feel that this was FireCake's best shot to advance on against the Protoss players, but I wasn't expecting that level of play from him at all.
Very good game from FireCake, and obviously MC's probably come into this being like, yeah, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy. This is the Roach man. We didn't see a single Roach being built in that game. But yeah, FireCake really giving it something to MC.
That was impressive stuff there by FireCake. I'm very curious to see what happens here in game number 2, because if he can put up that level of fight again, depending on the map, we could see a FireCake victory. I didn't come into the series thinking, yeah, we could see a FireCake victory. I was like, MC 2-0. But FireCake got chops, man, got chops.
Yeah, he did well there, but I hope that he enters this next game with the mentality, because there's 2 different ways. He can enter this next game and be like, I almost beat MC. I could actually probably do it in this next game if I play like that again. Or there's I gave it my best. Wasn't good enough. I don't know what to do now. So there are 2 different ways to look at it, and obviously depending on the individual he is the choice he takes.
Well, we'll see. As we now move on to Belshir Vestige here for our second map. And I got to say, I think that he'll bring the fight again. But MC, he's been in this situation time after time after time in high-pressure situations. And remember, this is the furthest FireCake has ever gotten in Premier League. Round of 32, the roadblock has stopped for him there. If he has to transcend that and get over anything he feels in this round of 32, it's through a player like MC.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
I mean, overall, I just have to be like, This is the highlight of FireCake's career. He's never done anything this big before. He's in the Premier League of the World Championship Series. This is massive. If he wins this series, if he wins the winners match, if he comes out of the group in top 2, he will go to the live show, the round of 16 next week, where so many players have come, entered, tried. Some have failed, some have found glory in the likes of Duck, who came into the round of 16 with not too many people backing him, knowing that he could do well, but he found a championship title, and now it's anyone's turn in Season 3. It's all up for grabs.
All right, let's jump into Game 2, as we now have, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, the man who took the first game, representing SK Gaming as well as Korea. He is SKMC. And up to the top left-hand corner are Red Zerg, representing Vega Squadron as well as France. We have FireCake.
Vega
Squadron.
I liked playing Vega in Soul Calibur.
Yeah? Yeah.
I think it was Soul Calibur, if I remember.
I think so.
He wasn't a very good guy.
Wasn't he the guy that was like slithering around with the 2 things? Or am I?
He's got like the swords out of his knuckles.
Yeah.
The blades or whatever it is.
I didn't play that much Soul Calibur, I gotta say.
I think it's Soul Calibur.
But, all right.
Is it not Street Fighter as well? I'm not sure where Vega comes from.
I can't remember. It might be Street Fighter, you know. I didn't really play that much fighting games. Like, I would play Tekken 2 and stuff in the past.
Yeah, Street Fighter.
But I've got 2 questions to ask you, Apollo. First one.
Go ahead.
If you had to pick your most memorable moment of this man down here, Mr. SKMC, from his whole StarCraft career, what would it be?
Oh, God, that's a good question.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Most memorable. So in the sense of memorable, what's like a memory comes up the most when I think of all of his history?
Of MC, this man.
I remember the first year Cell title he won.
Yeah.
That's like one that sticks out a lot. Back on OGS.
And then
a thing that sticks out for me is because I like MC's personality.
Yeah.
The cutthroat versus Idra.
Oh,
MLGs,
yeah. That was good.
The Teemo dance.
Yep, that was
he
good.
did as well. Like
the Murloc one as well.
The Murloc.
Yeah.
There's a couple of highlights there because that was back when he was crazy.
That was
when he was like one of the best players and he knew he was and knew that he could beat everybody. But he's really tamed himself.
A little bit, yeah. I would say so.
He really isn't that. Maybe it's because as well, if we think about StarCraft, it's 3 years old now, StarCraft 2. And to be honest, a lot of these players 3 years ago were young and were crazy. And people have matured over the years. So I think MC's highlights have to be when he was younger.
And then my second question, which was it is probably a little bit harder, is what's your highlight of FireCake right now? I would assume it was last game.
One.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. But we haven't seen much of him else anywhere. Me and Grubby last year, we did cast him in the WCS France Nationals whilst there was the Home Story Cup going on at the same time. And he did pull out some good games against some of the Terrans there, but nothing really spectacular. Only now have we seen him try and rise to the challenge. And hell, that first game was a scary one by him.
It was a good game from him, and I don't think anybody really expected that level from him either. And that's the great thing about the World Championship Series is people make their names here.
Yeah.
Like Starbuck, even though a lot of the pro players already knew who he was, they only know that because they play at the top level against him.
Exactly.
And when it comes to a lot of spectators, they don't play at that level. They only see broadcasts like this. So it is very good to have these players get their way through. And FireCake obviously making a name for himself here. MC has gone for a double Zealots, then Stalker, and a Mothership Core. I'm pretty sure he's going to pressure the third base here. This is a fast third base. There is no gas taker. There is no Zergling speed here. And MC, I wouldn't even be surprised if he threw down a couple of extra gateways as well. Pressure initially with the couple of units he has, and then maybe a couple of gateways behind it. But he's Chronoburst and a Stalker, which leads me to believe he may even build a second Stalker behind it too. So like double Zealot, double Stalker.
Yep.
And that takes a lot of money and minerals away from extra gateways before his gas income climbs too high. So what we may end up seeing if he's spending so much Chronoburst on the gateway to spend his minerals is actually a tech structure instead of additional gateways here.
Yeah.
So like double Zealot, double Stalker, and then a tech structure right behind it.
You're right. It's a better idea to just kind of balance out the economy that you have as opposed to the economy that you've spent in those fighting units. And FireCake here, well, he's just playing the standard game behind this, separating up his... well, he's only got the one gas at the natural. We did see him take double gas in the first game, so being a little bit more mineral intensive earlier on is our Zerg player.
Well, MC actually, as I thought about him building tech, he actually started chrono boosting into the cybernetics core. So obviously, if you're gonna chrono boost the cybernetics core, you're not gonna throw down tech. So he throws down a bunch of gateways here, and MC's got a very powerful push here, because not only does he have quite a few units out already, he also has the 3 gateways, but he does not have a probe out yet.
Yeah,
that's the one thing he doesn't.
Unfortunately for him, the one that did head over the other side of the map, it was forced to actually retreat all the way back, and it is doing here with this Zergling in the middle of the map. So that is that one disadvantage that he does have. But MC, well, the thing is that the Zergling also spots all of the 3 gateways at the front. So FireCake's going to be preparing. He already is. He's got the Zerglings on the way. He's thrown down the Ro32, and he's making sure that MC can't do crippling damage to him right now.
But MC is not looking to move out. He's thrown down a Stargate. He's got a lot of gas banked up here, and he's got 4 gases in total too. So MC's not looking to do any pressure, and FireCake's drone count is very, very low. It's at 48, and it could be much, much higher at this point. And he does have 24 Zerglings out. If any more units are made past this point, I feel that he could be in trouble because he's hurting his own economy, expecting an attack. But it is drones. So he has balanced his economy and units rather well.
That's a lot of sentries moving out.
That's going to freak him out too.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Hold on a minute. What?
What is going on?
5 sentries?
Chill, chill, chill. Whoa, and those force fields. Actually not too bad there. He needs to maybe throw down another 2 if he actually wants to keep those alive, but the Zerglings will have to back off. There was just not enough surface area for them to try and wrap around those units. So very, very good control by MC.
Yeah, 6 roaches and a spine crawler. He's definitely wondering what the hell's going on. In fact, it's an oracle with things coming out from MC.
A delayed oracle. This is kind of like those weird Terran versus anyone builds that had a random delayed Banshee put in them in Wings of Liberty, and it just kind of, wait, why is this here? What is going on? So MC might catch his opponent off guard with this.
Well, MC's just, MC has been warping in quite a few units, and he does have that high sentry count, but it's at a weird, awkward timing. Because MC's moving backwards and forwards, his opponent doesn't know exactly what's going on here, as he's expecting one attack all of a sudden, then another attack. But MC definitely can pressure, but with the amount of probes he's got, 51, the robotics facility coming down as well as the forge completing, I'm pretty sure he's obviously just not going to dedicate to an attack here. But I'm so interested because he's cleaned up the middle of the map. How much damage can these oracles do? He's built a second one.
Oh, wow.
So he's cleaned up the Zelnaga tower. He's looking around to see are there additional queens or spore crawlers down. There's not. So now if these oracles go undetected through the middle of the map, which is... He needs to be careful of this other Zelnaga tower.
I'm just checking these bases.
No
spores.
He's seen it.
Has he seen it?
Well, he's seen the oracles move through the middle of the map, but he's going straight towards the main base, and they're going to kill these queens and drones really, really fast. And then just behind it, with all the units he has, expand. So he's really, really messing with FireCake's mind.
Yeah.
FireCake doesn't really know exactly what's coming and never has done all this game.
Yeah, you're right. This has been very, very good by MC to just kind of really throw his opponent for a loop. If I was the Zerg player in this case, I was like, right, he's outside my base. Okay, I got to get ready, got to get ready, got to get ready. And then you see him again, it's like, right, got to keep getting ready. He's still moving out. But that's not been the case. MC's just harassed a little bit. Third base is going to go down very soon, and MC is going to play us out a little longer. I got to ask, though, Sean, FireCake from here, obviously he has roaches in place, and that's a little bit of a deviation, as well as the range. How does he play this game out longer now after seeing what MC has done?
Well, with the Infestation Pit down, this is one of the better maps to play Swarm Host style, and we did see him choose to go Swarm Host in the last game as kind of a defense, which makes me feel he's comfortable with building them. And he does start 3. So he may be trying to play a Swarm Host style overall, because he does have the +1 upgrade too, but it might also just be for a couple of them as well, which we had in the last game, to really push back any gateway attacks, which MC's known for. He starts the Hydralisk Den and the Hive. I think that he isn't going to commit too heavily to Swarm Hosts, and he may just go over to Hydralisk Viper anyway here.
Yeah. And then with that, just dealing with those Void Rares, as he said, so... I mean, that's pretty cool. Whoa! If a Swarm Host dies to 2 Oracles, that's the weirdest engagement of all time.
Burrow, goddammit!
Burrow, 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 burrow! Oh, he died! Well, didn't expect that, but it has happened. Zergling's trying to pressure that third base, and we'll push him away.
He's built 6 Swarm Hosts now. No Hydralisk upgrades coming in from the Hydralisk Den. It looks like he may just try to play a fully fully style of Swarmhost. I'm not too sure exactly, to be honest.
Look at this Observer moving out with these Void Rays just to firstly pick off creep tumors, and then also it denies that base itself. So really cool movement here by MC, even killing off that Spine Crawler really fast with the charge. Not necessary to actually charge up on that, I don't think, but every little counts.
Yeah, I just like MC's game here very much so. It's confusing, it's difficult to read, and overall throughout all of this, he's lost hardly anything, just 125 minerals, which is very, very low.
Okay, it's a very impressive game number 2 here by MC, and you know, FireCake's got to be reeling from this. He has to be confused about what his opponent's been up to all game. Void Rays get another Swarm Host, so small little advantages here from MC time and time again.
But we have with the Zerg army composition, Zerglings, Roaches, Hydralisks, a couple of Swarm Hosts, and now Vipers. So clearly the Vipers will be wanting to pull the Colossus in here. But there's a lot of gateways coming down from MC with Blink as well. I'm pretty sure MC, from this position on, is just going to go for a big attack. He's currently sitting on 6 gateways. He's adding on another 6. That's 12 gateways.
Yeah.
He's chrono boosting out his +2 attack and getting Blink on the way. And MC's always been known for Blink and Colossus timings.
He loves that Blink, man, just like you love that charge. It's they all come from that Twilight Council, and he loves it. Whoop, and bye-bye some of these Hydras. Bye-bye the Oracle as well. He had Revelation on those, so he could have saved, but FireCake is looking to go for an assault down to the left-hand side, but those Zerglings run into a wall of fire, so that's probably not the best place for them to hang around.
Do you think that FireCake, can he hold off against this kind of attack from MC? That it looks like MC's trying to build.
Let me see. It depends. Does he have High Templars?
No, he does not.
Okay, so if the grabs are good, then yes. If not, then no.
Okay.
But I think that grabs will be okay here, and I think that this game will prolong on a little bit. What do you feel?
I think he could bust through this. It's MC after all.
Yeah.
He's got Void Rays in the mix, Colossus, +2 attack, a lot of Blink Stalkers. He's cleaned up his 4th base as well, so he can expand behind this too. But I think that MC could break this.
Yeah, Zergling's gonna
but to be honest, I think he doesn't even need to break it. I think if he was to go down a different angle and try to move his opponent out of position, that's also just as good.
It's like deja vu. We've just seen another huge amount of Zerglings be sacrificed to that, and maybe he's freeing up supply for these Swarm Hosts, I guess, but they could have done a little bit more. Maybe try and hit the 3rd base, or I don't want to be super critical, but that happened again. He has to be careful. You know, if his opponent went for an engagement right now, he knows that a lot of Zerglings are not there to deny him.
All right, well, let's see MC's army control, because he's got a very strong army now.
This is going to be hard for FireCake with the small size of his army that he currently has. There goes a few pulls, but he walks straight on down. Those pulls were not in the best of positions here for FireCake, as those Colossi were able to get to safety very, very easily. These force fields kind of working against him here, but still, so much firepower. Another pull forward. Spore Crawlers as well as those Swarm Hosts going to help in killing that one off, but there's so many Stalkers.
Yeah, this is MC all over, right? Just pushing through. A blinding cloud comes down on top of these Stalkers, but the majority of units are gone. MC blinks forward, and he's got 172 supply compared to 144. 19 Hydralisks are coming in, but they're going to be way too late here. There's still a Colossus left. There's so many Blink Stalkers.
Trying to grab more energy with these Vipers, maybe more blinding clouds, because right now it's exactly what he needs. Maybe to try and eliminate that Colossi at the back as well, but there's the blinding clouds. The Hydralisks are going to try and reinforce this position once again, but he knows he's in trouble. The drones come off the line. Stalkers blink forwards in confidence while Spine Crawlers go to work, but the reinforcements for MC are just going to be too much.
Yeah, MC just on 12 gateways, 12 Stalkers over and over and over, if he can afford it. And he's going to pick up this map win. A nice game, and I think, you know, the answer, could FireCake hold off versus this attack MC was building? No.
GG, guys. GG. And MC takes the first series here in the final group of the round of 32. And that was a cool series. Again, I didn't expect that from FireCake in game number 1. And then in game number 2, mind games. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that a lot of Zerg players say that Protoss players don't do enough, is to move out and back and out and back, because it forces a lot of units out. And I really think that I was looking through the game for a lot of it through FireCake's perspective, and like I was holding V down in his viewpoint, and he sees units moving out and he starts building units. Then all of a sudden they're not there. and then they're back, and he starts running again. Then they move out again, and he starts building units again. And every time that he builds units, that's not drones. So he didn't really have the best economy earlier on in the game compared to MC, who in the end was building up an army that was going to take a third base anyway. So even though he didn't take a fast third, the oracles came in, which was another twist of things. So just that kind of forward and backwards movement from MC, I really liked that and enjoyed that in the early parts of that game. And I think it did kind of put his opponent off balance a little bit for the majority of that.
Yeah, certainly so. So that does it, guys, for our first series of the night. Now we move on to our next two players. So join us after the break when we shall have the second series of the night. It's going to be Stardust going up against Cass.
Precision with a true 8200 DPI Pro Aim laser sensor. Get pure speed with a 32-bit Turbo Core V2 processor. Get pure command power with the Easy Shift button duplicator. Get pure atmosphere with a 16.8 million color lighting system. Rocket Cone Pure.